Morning, Tuesday morning, 10 to 8. We're all packed up, about to head out. Really nice spot here, despite the weather yesterday. No, had a good night. I ended up sleeping in the shelter, first time I've done that, because I had no sooner put my tent up than the heavens opened, as you saw, with hail and unbelievably heavy rain. And it just flooded everywhere, and all the tent spots pretty much got flooded. Where I'd pitched my tent, a small puddle had formed right at the doorway to it. It got a bit wet, so I took it down, hung it up to dry, decided I was going to spend the night in the shelter and brave the mice, and didn't hear one mouse. And then two young lads from Virginia on the stage above us, they had loads of mice all night. So that was quite funny, but no, I mean it's hard sleeping on the floor, and you know, but I didn't sleep any worse than I normally been sleeping in the tent. It's really dark here at night in the trees. It's absolutely pitch black. I woke up a couple of times in the night, sat up to stretch my back out, and you could not see a thing. Quite amazing. And really quiet. This is a really quiet forest at night. Sometime normally earlier morning you'll hear an owl. I don't know what sort of owl it is, but it's quite a distinctive call. But other than that, at night it's almost, well, it is silent a lot of the time. So yeah, we're just getting prepared now, doing the final preparations. I think Ken's going to visit the little boys' room before we head off, and then we're off to Standing Indian Shelter, and it's going to be a tough day. 12.4 miles by trail, 3,700 feet of ascent. So yeah, it's all up. There's hardly any downs, so it's going to be a sweaty day. But excitingly, in 3 or 4 miles, we will reach the border with North Carolina, and we will have hiked Georgia, which will be quite something. Okay, we'll speak to you later.
Wet backpack. Yeah. Well, maybe it'll dry off some today.
Easy, isn't it? So that lady that took a picture of is Marilyn, 73, hiking the trail like nobody's business, putting up her own tent, sorting herself out, doing everything solo. Quite amazing. And this is Blue Gap. Yep, that's what I did as well. So here we are at the Georgia-North Carolina state line.
That's good, David.
Now, was it yesterday at Dix Creek Gap? We were speaking to a lady who said, "Oh, you'll know when you're at the border because there's a big pile of rocks." And we were like, yeah, because that'll be distinctive along this trail. Any other clues, like is there a tree around? So very annoyingly, it is right next to a big pile of rocks. There is a saying that Georgia kicks you in the ass on the way out, North Carolina kicks you in the front on the way in. And they're not joking. We just come straight up from the border, from Bly Gap is unrelenting.
The technical rock climber that I am. And I would say, and that's how it's done, but then I trip and
Then
fall.
you'll trip, yeah. Okay, so that was a 12.4, I think, mile day today. 3,800 feet of ascent to Standing Indian Shelter, which is where we are now. We got here, I don't know when, about 6 o'clock, maybe just before 6 o'clock. It's 7:15 now. So we've had to do bear hangs here, first proper bear hangs on our own, because we're in North Carolina now, and there doesn't seem to be much in the way of bear cables or bear boxes at any of the shelters. Now this shelter, Standing Indian, has in the past received quite a bit of bear activity, apparently. We haven't been able to find any recent reports of that. The last report was the end of April, which was, a week, 10 days ago. And there would have been people staying here between then and now. So, yeah, we've just got our fingers crossed for tonight. We're sleeping in the shelter. At the moment, there's only the three of us here, plus another guy in a tent. And tomorrow's plan is a big day. Over 16 miles is what we're looking at to, I think it's Long Branch Shelter. And that would put us within short mileage of, well, either Rock Gap or Winding Stair Gap, which is our entry into Franklin, and for me would be the end of this section hike. So, yeah, a long day tomorrow, but not the hike gain. I think only about 2,900 feet of ascent, which is probably quite a lot less than we've done for the last few days, actually. So it's not going to be a question so much of the descent or the ascent, it's going to be more of the distance and time on the feet. We've got an option at about 11 miles to camp if we want to, but I think our desire will be to push on a bit. Okay, more to follow.